I'm grown enough, I can do this. Those kids are gonna enjoy being able to see what it's actually like to be without parents. Hi, my name is Julie and welcome to my YouTube channel where I help parents and teachers find the next right book for their 8 to 12-year-old reader. If videos like these are helpful, you can click the subscribe button down below to make sure you don't miss any future videos. And if you like today's book, you can give it a thumbs up. That way I know to find more books like this. Okay, now on to today's book. Today's book is called Alone by Megan E. Freeman, and Alone is the story of Maddie. And Maddie's parents are divorced, and so in an effort to kind of play them against each other, she tells one parent she'll be at the other parent's house, she tells the other parent she'll be at the other parent's house, but her and her friends plan to have a sleepover at her grandparents' empty apartment. At the last minute, her friends cancel, but she decides, you know what, I need a parent-free night, and she decides to go ahead and have the sleepover anyways. Now, the next morning, she wakes up and discovers she is absolutely alone. The town has been evacuated and abandoned, and she has to try to figure out how to survive on her own, find resources, food, all the things she's going to need to survive in Colorado, including in the wintertime. The longer she's alone, she really faces and wrestles with the question, is it more challenging to be alone or to struggle with having to survive? And it's fascinating to hear what she thinks as the story goes about that question. Now, there are a few readers who I think will really enjoy this book. The first is any kid that's thought of running away from home, living without their parents, that thinks, you know what, I'm grown enough, I can do this. Those kids are gonna enjoy being able to see what it's actually like to be without parents. Another reader that I think will really like this book are fans of poetry. So this book is actually a novel in verse, which means the whole book is written in poems. So as you can see, rather than look like what you're probably used to seeing on books where it's written in paragraph story form, the whole story is written in poems. Now, that's kind of important to note because it is a little bit different style, and I think it's great for kids to see that writing comes in many different styles. It's also important to let kids know because sometimes kids, when they see a thick book, are a little bit intimidated, but because it's written in poems, it actually reads faster than they're going to expect it to. So another reader who I think will really like this is kids who like animals. Maddie's only companion is a dog named George, and I think for kids who are passionate about animals, they'll love seeing the relationship between Maddie and George. The last reader that I'd really recommend this book for is kids who love stories about survival. So whether they are fans of Hatchet or Island of Blue Dolphins, this is a great book about survival, and kids who are interested in what it takes to survive would really enjoy this story. Now, as an added note, I probably wouldn't have a young middle grade reader read this just because of the content, and I think for an 8-year-old, maybe even a 9-year-old, that might be a little much. I think it's an incredibly quality book. I just would probably skip your young middle grade reader for this one. So I would encourage you, go order your copy of Alone, and happy reading!